got my associated rival MT10 here on the bench with Maverick Quantum Flux Plus body on it, off the Maverick there, innit? Yeah, I put the body on there. Basically had to bore out different holes and shit in it. Let's take it off the stand. I got the Maverick Quantum Flux wheels on it as well, with the 40mm hexes, but still 12mm axles, but 40mm hexes to make the wheel fit. Let's take the body clip off. Body clips off. I haven't run this truck for a while, man. Last time I ran this truck, I sent it off the skate park down the road and basically cabbaged it, dumped the car up in it, you know what I mean? Just take this body. I got to sort this body out. You see, I bored out new holes. I just basically tape up the existing holes and shit in it, you know what I mean? But it's a Quantum Flux R body. Yeah, but this is a servo I was running in the car when I sent it off the skate park. And the steering servo split in two, innit? You know what I mean? That's the top part. You can see, yeah, this has come out. So it's not the stock servo, it's just an aftermarket servo I was running in the car, innit? Until it conked out. Well, did that. So right now I've got a Savox servo in it. It's maybe a 15 kilo servo or something. I'm also running a different receiver. With this transmitter, Amazon special transmitter and receiver. This is actually the transmitter and receiver I was running on the X-Max, but my X-Max is off the road at the moment. You see X-Max there, I put the thing there, I put a label at the bottom of it. So, but my X-Max is off the road at the moment, so thought I'd just bang the transmitter and receiver in this truck. I got a 150 amp Armour ESC in it. You see the Armour BLX logo on top with a 4000 kV Kyosho motor. This is the Reedy motor. This is the motor that come out the truck, innit? It's a Reedy 3000, I can't read the writing out, but it's the Reedy 3350 kV, I think, or something or other. But yeah, that's the Reedy motor that come off the Team Associated MT truck, the original motor that was in the truck. So I just basically swapped it out for 4000 kV Kyosho motor. Same stock pinion, 12 tooth pinion. Yeah, and the shocks now. The rear is more plush than the front. These are Armour shocks. Maybe off an Armour Creighton or something. I managed to bodge it on there with hyper buggy springs, or it could have been, I've had a few hyper buggies in the past, or it could have been off my hyper cage chuggy. I'm not sure, but I managed to find these springs and just basically bodged these shocks on, man. The front shocks now is still a work in progress, but I can run the car. I mean, it's all calibrated and everything. I run it on the floor here, and plus there's no clicking. We'll get to the clicking in a minute. But the shocks, these shocks are old, man. These are old shocks. These shocks come out from this shock come out from my Ainsman Hogzilla Nitro truck I had back in the day. And this is just a shock I found laying around. So I think it's 8 scale. So yeah, it's oil filled, but the oil probably needs changing. I've never changed the oil in these shocks as far as I know, so might swap the oil out and see in it if the dampening is any different. But the rear is quite plush, man. See, look at the rear. It's plush. You know what I mean? It comes up slowly. So the front is still a work in progress. Let me just show these wheels quickly. Back to the clicking noise. Yeah, I used to run this truck, and all I can hear is clicking, 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 clicking. You know what I mean? And it was driving me crazy. So I thought it was the disc. So I opened up the disc, the output gear, and everything. Checked everything. Yeah, I took this car apart untold times, man. To see if I can to see if I can sort this clicking action out. But turns out, let me just show the DIY job I did with this wheel, man. Basically, the knuckle. This is not the original knuckle on this truck. The knuckle basically broke. The stock knuckle broke, and the bearing, basically half the bearing stuck in the knuckle, the broken knuckle, which I couldn't get out. Well, the knuckle was broken anyway, but I got half the bearing out, but the other half was stuck in the knuckle. So yeah, anyway, I swapped it out and basically did this job, this DIY job, innit? This knuckle is actually off a Armour Senton BLX 3S BLX Armour Senton. Just got a couple of screws and just basically bodged it on there. This is the gold 14mm Maverick Quantum Flux hexes in it. You know what I mean? I basically swapped out. But the thing is, when I run this car, I think the rattling and the clicking was coming from this knuckle, because you can see there's actually a gap. Well, not a gap. There was a gap, but now there's actually a washer behind the 14mm hex from the Maverick Quantum, because all the rest of the hexes fit all right, you know what I mean, on all these 3 corners, but it's just this botch job, this because the knuckle is the wrong knuckle in it, you know what I mean. There was a gap and it's off another car, so I had to shove a washer in there, and then the pin, and then this the hex, the 40mm hex, and hopefully it solved it, because I ran it quickly. This car's all calibrated and all that, and I've only just thread locked the pinion this morning, innit? So you know what I mean. But anyway, I ran it quickly along here, and there was no clicking. So hopefully that solved the problem, man. Because the bearings gonna be smaller, innit, or whatever, because the knuckles from a different car off the Armour Senton. So eventually I'll get the stock associated Rival MT knuckles, you know what I mean. But I can run the car, I can run it. I mean, they're steering and whatnot, but the steering on this side is it's not, you can't steer, you can't turn fully left or right. You know, when the wheel turns like that, don't it? It's locking when it's turning. I can't remember, but it's locking anyway. So I might have to do some rubbing or whatnot. But I can drive the car. I can drive the car. There is steering, but it's not to its full potential, if you know what I mean, because of the knuckle. I think it's probably rubbing on the wheel or something. It could be. I'll have to investigate it, but it is running. The car does run, and as I said, there was no clicking that I can hear of when I run it in this room. Whereas before, I'd run this car when I was working on it, strip it down and then put it back together. I run it in this room same way and they're still clicking, you know what I mean? So yeah, so hopefully that solved the problem. Although I might eventually get knuckles, the original knuckle that came with this car in it, and also I might, or I'll see if I can fill up new oil, put new oil in his front shocks. If not, they do upgrades. They do the shock upgrades for this MT Sport, this Rival MT, innit? The aluminium shock upgrades and that, instead of the stock. But last time I checked, either motorsport or wheel spin models, it was out of stock. They had the front ones or they had the rear ones, but they didn't have, like, they had front, but they didn't have rear, or they had rear, but they didn't have front. But I'm gonna check again. But I don't want to spend that too much money at the moment on this car until I can solve the clicking noise in it, and hopefully the clicking noise is from this in it, as I said in it, because this was all loose and it needed a washer behind the hex because there was a gap, as I was saying in it, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's it. Oh yes, Mr. Huxley, I think I was running a 4,000 kV motor when I speed ripped this car, maybe last year sometime, when I changed out the electronics. I had a 6S ESC in it, but I think I was running a 4,000 kV motor with a stock pinion. Yeah, it's just one of my vids, innit? He was asking and I wasn't too sure. I think I pulled out the ED motor and I run the a 4,000 kV motor in it, you know what I mean? It could have been the HBI 4,000 kV motor or this Kyosho motor, you know what I mean? But it was still a it was a 4,000 kV motor, maybe not this reedy motor and whatnot. So anyway, leave this video here, man. Yeah.